Welcome back, everyone, to Limbus Company. I am me. I'm joined by my good friend Hunter.
Me.
And we have to do our one draws that will surely give me Ishmael that I was denied last time, but I got him Mersul, so it's okay.
Not that you didn't just, dispense the Ishmael.
Did I? Oh yeah, I did dispense her, didn't I? I'll get her again, though. Yeah, tomorrow, or
He's gonna stay down to 50 shards.
Wednesday is when the two new characters come out.
For...
I don't know. For Limbus, Wednesday.
Oh, right, yeah.
Anyway. Drive.
The lobotomy, ego lamp.
I'm really sad that, like, at least for the Rupture team, like, we already got through the one synergy team I had. Everyone else just kind of there.
They're technically Heisho. They're both Heisho. Verily, nigh is the time for young Yisang and I to face the test. The nature of our trial shall take form as Pecatula and Vidier. I assume that we all have a first-hand experience with static shocks.
Man, they really could be brothers, couldn't they?
Both nerdy researchers. Ho, doth static shock have aught to do with envy? Anyone who's been subject to both static shock and the envy of others must know that the latter stings in the same manner as the former does. I ill comprehend thine explanations. Ah, I see. To explain in plainer example, Miss Don Quixote, you have always been fond of and held great respect for the illustrious color fixers, am I correct? Verily, I should be second to none were my passion for them to be measured. Now, imagine yourself at a convention of sorts, in which the said illustrious color fixers are holding an event to disseminate their autographs, and imagine that you are a part of the excited queue. Oh, indeed, I have mentally placed myself there. Proceed!
Yes, I am there. I can see it now.
Yet, in great misfortune, the event comes to a close, mere moments before you were to receive your autograph. Alack for woe! Fate playeth such cruel jest on my pitiful soul. Now, do imagine, what sort of emotion would you feel for the fellow fan who received the final autograph immediately before you were to receive yours ere the chance was robbed? Well, 'twould be quite the jealousy burning within mine heart, a painful tingling sensation, and oh! My, you certainly enjoy explaining things, don't you? I suppose all scholars are kindred spirits, after all. You two, quit the chewing and get in there!
The chew and the chinwag?
Chinwag! Verily, then onward to a new adventure? The chewing.
Yes, quit the chewing.
I'm not dyslexic. I just saw the word wrong. That was a different word.
Fucking I saw this really dumb fucking post and I'm like, true, it's Ares! My life for another Shadow of Mordor game!
Oh, so true though.
Ooh. I am so sad that we'll probably never get another Shadow War game, and that
or even anything with the Nemesis system.
No, that's not true. They announced that they're doing the Nemesis system in a Wonder Woman game.
But didn't they cancel that Wonder Woman game?
Did they cancel it?
Yeah, they canceled it.
Well. I don't have. Just, well.
Well, that sucks.
Yeah, that sucks. I was kind of excited for it. Not super, because Wonder Woman doesn't really work for that, but.
Just because of the Nemesis system.
Just because of the Nemesis system. Like, I was interested to see how they would do it because, like, are they gonna have Wonder Woman just actually just Snapping
Kill
necks.
people?
Like, was she gonna run up to hooligan poor man Jerry and run up and go, betrayal, and snap his neck?
The Wonder Woman pitting goons against each other to watch them pit fight? Question mark.
Yeah.
Like,
like
it wouldn't be the same.
the lasso of truth it's actually the mind control thing now.
The lasso leaves like the face brand from Shadow of Mordor.
Ow. 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 That's dead.
Hey, I don't think the win rate worked.
I'll just do it again. That's how this game works. Like, that's how this game works. As long as you get one, if you fail 1 or 2 times, that's it. You're done.
만곡된 직선을 직선으로 질주하겠소.
I wonder if, like, man, you gotta say you're struggling. You should just, like, not. What's your defense skill?
Don't struggle.
It's a clash. There, yeah, that's fine. Whatever. Alright, just, like, all of these clashes are incredibly winnable. They just roll like fucking shit. You know, when I have 4 coins and 3 of them are fails, it kind of makes the clashing kind of hard. Ow. It's like that's what was supposed to happen, where I just break him in 1 hit.
모든 것에 견뎠어.
Wait. Okay, yeah. If you can't make sure Dawn kills Dawn, because I think the EX involves the sinners killing their own.
What?
The EX objective is for the sinner to kill the version of themselves.
Oh, okay. I put both of those green mains. Which one are you struggling on? That one. God fucking forbid Otto wouldn't be smart for once in its goddamn life.
일기당천.
There's anything that isn't just everybody swinging at everything. It's the stupidest fucking thing in the world.
불 넘고 꺾고 제쳐라.
I'm just gonna have him do a struggling instead of the favored because I want to put 3 attacks into the stun person of 1 HP because Ice Smirk.
Speed values versus win rates, specifying not actually the best outcome, but just winning the most clashes numerically. But it doesn't account for speed properly.
일기당천.
I know your sanity's ramped, so.
하나 넘고 불 넘고 꺾고 제쳐라.
Crazy how. Damn.
접질렀나.
Yep. Yeah. God forbid you get. God forbid you know not that first one.
That was ridiculous.
God forbid.
Wow.
God forbid. With the 45
just
with
watch?
the 45 SP, God forbid.
Oh my god, that was funny.
That's why I thought I'd just do it again, like, because it's shit like that. I'll go the EX.
Did Yisong kill Yisong?
No. Pretty sure Don killed everybody.
For all of them were done.
Pretty sure Don killed all of them.
그럼에도 말들은 즐거움을 건망하시오. 기쁨을
Alas.
자극하시오. 우리는 군주가 가리키는 곳으로
The price of
다른
curiosity.
전장에 투입되어야 할 테니.
Aww. I have an idea what happens.
Oh, do you?
Yeah.
의로움을 세우기
Get in
명을
there, get in
받듭니다.
there, get in there,
오,
잠시
there.
같이 걸을 텐가.
in there.
뭐야? 죽은
One wonders.
어디서?
One wonders.
어디서?
What could have happened to make Don be the only one who's not allowed to be here? What could happen?
만곡된 직선을 직선으로 질주하겠소.
Ares, my life for a Warhammer crossover. The foundation that led to this disaster was laid by none other than Yisong, whose only sin was making an innocent, tragically casual comment. Tragically. Sometime after we ran our final tests.
Please vacate the room, people. Clean up coming through. Apologies. Miss Don Quixote has ought to.
Don, why do you have an ID, an ego flower butterfly thingy?
That's Martin's.
That's Martin's. Oh,
Yeah.
They're just really long.
Prithee, avail me but a moment. The shoelaces upon Roshinante have come undone.
What? How? I remember tying like 7 different knots.
She didn't say. She's not saying it.
But that is where my brain went to.
It sure is.
I tied 7 different sailors' knots.
They're the best knots. I was on a boat. Yet we're quite the hideous success. Sorry, to be forced upon Roshinante. I've tied one. Blah, oh my god. My tongue. Tongue tied. I have tied one of them once again in the shape of a ribbon.
Yeah, the knots don't look that great. Ribbons are cute. Oh boy.
Yet one must begin to wonder about the consequences of Miss Don Quixote freeing her foot from Roshinante at her present state. Whatever art thou suggesting? Roshinante is none other than mine steed eternal, bound to me by fate itself. None shall ever dare sever the bond betwixt us.
Because all Roshinante does right now is suppressing the.
It seals the blood fiend's
Okay.
shit. It was a query posed toward Miss Faust, yet I appreciate your answer all the same.
And Faust replies what set fire upon that rather combustible foundation.
I cannot know.
But Faust.
Faust doesn't know. I cannot know.
What?
An obvious outcome given that no relevant data has ever been collected.
Well then, no time like the present to get collecting, huh? Good thing we're in a lab too, or else are we gonna get another chance to do that?
This course of action is highly inadvisable.
I really don't recommend doing this. Yeah, sounds like a bad time to me. I heard all kinds of horrible stuff happen on that train the moment her shoes came off. Heard it.
But that's... 'Twas but an independent decision called by Roshinante itself due to certain extreme circumstances that had naught to do with mine will.
Well, you know, potato, potato.
I was already quite aware that the core of that individual may as well lie in her pair of running shoes. Fie on thee! Thou shan't treat a person such as I as like some useless shell!
What if we slip your shoes off and on again real quick?
The standards here at the LCE department demand precise measurements. In other words, these tests would be meaningless if all we are measuring is a hollow shell. A hollow shell?
Man, just fucking... just tilted her into becoming Sancho.
We have indulged your predictable provocations enough, Hohenheim. It seems necessary to remind you that we have not yet received the full report of what transpired during that incident. In other words, you are risking the occurrence of an unexpected event.
There's something really funny knowing that Faust is being, like, purposely obscuring just to fuck over Hohenheim. Like, she could take a stand here and be like, just, no. But she's like, you don't know what happens, and you don't know what you're getting into, Hohenheim.
You concern yourself unnecessarily. The construction of my laboratory boasts a rather solid build.
Alright, Faust, taunt him.
Not even abnormalities on the more powerful side of things can puncture holes in its walls. Oh, very well. I will not force your hand. However, due to your unwillingness, I am behooved to record such in my research journal. Due to the concerned sinner's utterly terrified reaction at the prospect of having to remove her shoes, I must unfortunately leave only a half-complete test result here. Utterly terrified? Terrified? And for your information, these research reports are stored for at least a decade. Yes, we will have possession of a full record of your plain cowardice for at least 10 years.
Maybe I'm wrong. I think it's the first time I've seen that face on Dawn.
She's done that one a couple times, usually when she's seeing some shit she really doesn't like. Outcome, not applicable. Reason, subject was too scared to participate. After much contemplation, I have come to conclude that dearest Rocinante deserveth a moment of respite as well. And I, Don Quixote, shall demonstrate before thee that Don Quixote is Don Quixote in her core still, without Rocinante's assistance.
See, even Dante is like, Faust, you're doing this on purpose.
Hohenheim, if your employment at Limbus Company ever comes to a unilateral termination, I suppose the cause will be rather apparent. Your highly irresponsible level of curiosity.
Not a good idea. Got it.
That would be my greatest honor as a researcher.
Hey, if anything ever goes wrong, you son will be on the ready. Slip those shoes right back onto your feet at Momo's nose, okay?
I shall be on the ready. Behold me not with such excessive anticipation, all. There shan't be any new revelations here.
Don Quixote begins to untie her shoes, seething. Just, like, as she's doing it, maybe this is a bad idea, actually.
This seven-layered knot poseth quite the difficulty. Young Ishmael, wherefore hast thou tied these cords with such unwavering tightness?
I was hoping they'd be the less not so shoelaces would ever tie.
Of course. Ah, there we go. Rest thee well, Rocinante. For I
like the whispers. The sinners and I are all quite nervous, but none of us stepped forward to stop this experiment. You are all responsible for this.
This is a group effort.
This is a group. This is a group effort to fucking. Wait, no, Meursault holds no blame.
Actually, Meursault, yeah, he did not give any input whatsoever.
Meursault holds no blame here. Everybody else has, like, a stance one way or the other. Meursault's stance is whatever Meursault's stance is told to be.
I'm surprised Otis didn't say anything either. Otis and Meursault both stayed quiet the whole time.
I think Otis is happy. It would be happy to see something bad happen. Because she does not seem happy to be here.
That's fair.
When did we stop this? Was it because we thought
immediate mistake?
Was it because we thought we knew removing Rocinante doesn't necessarily mean that she'll be losing control? Because we saw it affect the warp train at La Mancha Land? Or was it because we assumed that Rocinante was now just a disguise, that Don Quixote has accepted her past Sancho, removing it wouldn't affect her psyche at all? You know, the eternal never-ending hunger. Whichever was the case, it was a mistake to ignore that nagging feeling. These researchers don't know what facing Don Quixote, Sancho, the second kindred is like. Isn't she the first now? Isn't that the whole thing with the prince or whatever?
She...
Like,
Santo, I don't know if we know that she's necessarily a full kindred stronger, but that would theoretically be how it works. We don't know yet, I don't think.
yeah. Because, like, I mean...
Because it works with the higher kindreds. I don't know if it works with the very lowest tiers of kindred.
Okay, because I basically assume she's the strongest one.
I assume she inherited basically all of her family line.
Yeah.
I think she's like the last La Mancha blood fiend.
Yeah, because I believe every other one's dead, or might as well be. Did Blue Guy save any? I don't think so.
No.
I can't remember.
I don't think he did. He gave them the means to set themselves free, but didn't actually help any of them.
Yeah, because I think for the most part he was just an instigator.
Yeah, he didn't give them the golden bow, which is weird that he just had one. You know, he just gave them out.
Yeah, they're just Skittles.
They're the Blue Man Group, man.
They're just Skittles everywhere. You know, there's probably Bob in District X just like chilling in his hotel room, and there's a golden bow in bed and wall. He's like,
he's just planted it in a corner of his living room.
He's just like, you know what? It looks kind of pretty.
Man, standing near it makes me happy. Yippee!
Yippee! Yippee!
And then he distorts, and everything goes horrifically wrong. The entire neighborhood.
Carmen, yippee! Yeah, like, because I at least going off of what happened with the Mersol ID or whatever, the fourth Bloodline Prince guy, like, she should be the first now, essentially, or at least have the ability to become the first.
I think she has the ability to become the first. I don't know if she is currently a first kindred. Maybe she needs to like consume a bajillion gallons of blood to do it. I
do feel like this should have been, I don't know, something they should have tested out, because this would be a very good thing to know.
Well, that's what Hohenheim's researcher spirit.
Yeah, but like Faust or Yi Song or Otis or honestly half the sinners would have, I feel like we should have been like, maybe we should know if it's bad or not. You know, I feel like maybe half of them might have been a little bit concerned about it. Since, like, again, they're shoes, and they fight monsters. They're magic shoes, so they won't get ripped, probably, but, like...
Yeah, I don't think they have the durability of regular shoes.
Yeah, they're magic shoes, so, like, you know, they won't just be clawed off or whatever, but, like...
They're like a hard blood construct.
Like, what happens if Dawn's feet get cut off?
Oops.
Do they still work somehow, or does she just poof? Probably something
I think the implication is that there's a conceptual weight to like taking them off that negates the bounds of like Dante having to resuscitate a cut-in-half Don Quixote. Because if you remember on the warp train, they like floated off her feet when the filial impiety happened. There was no like... It hasn't even been mentioned once. So I assume the way Rocinante works is more like there's a conceptual tie to her taking them off.
Okay, but if that's the case, I feel like the seven tie knots is irrelevant.
That's fair. I don't know if they acknowledge it's a conceptual tie, but I think that's kind of what we see.
But if they don't acknowledge it's a conceptual tie, that brings you back to
they should be concerned about it.
They should be concerned about it accidentally happening. And not to mention, with the people they've interacted with, like, how long would it be until they just meet a fucking goober who's like, and then tries to take the shoes off? Like, they meet some twisted individuals. I'm just saying, if I had a person who might be a bomb, I'd want to know the safety of the demon train, not on the battlefield.
True. That's true.
Mother! Mother.
Oh, mother.
Oh, man. Dante watches, oh, this went bad fast. Hey, Yi-sung, while she is stunned, put the shoes back on now.
Put the shoes back on!
Put them back
Yi-sung,
on!
put the shoes back on!
Yi-sung!
Our existence is death in perpetuity.
Oh, man, I'd love to put the shoes back on, but she's so interesting. It's just so interesting what's happening right now.
Complete us. Fill our hunger.
So I would say this is the first. This is the first thing here, because she never experienced this at all when she was Sancho with Dom.
Yeah, I think it's because she has like, there's no one left, so it's like she has the whole bloodline's hunger.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. I think this is the first kindred thing. All of this.
Yes. We pray unto you, fill us with the blood of humans. With the blood of humans.
Man, I'd love to put the shoes back on her. Normally I would, but this is so interesting what's happening. I gotta know what's going on here, what's gonna happen. The teeming, shouting voices suddenly began echoing like, Yi-sung!
The shoes!
The shoes! Take them off? Alright, if you say so. The shoes! Throw them out the window? Alright! They're the voices of all the children he had embraced. Or perhaps this is the blood fiend's instinct given voice, imprinted upon them at the moment of their birth. Proliferate this disease, embrace this unending hunger for blood, and propagate the family. So many voices, so much yearning, so much desire. Maybe I'm remembering wrong. Didn't Dawn at first, like the actual like first kindred Dawn, didn't he initially not want a family until he found out what a family was? I could be remembering wrong because this was months ago. But
I don't recall.
I thought it was something along the lines of that he read a story or something and found out about a family and then he wanted one.
He definitely seemed colder when he found Sancho versus after he had put together the La Mancha family. So I think him picking up Sancho may have been him in the process of creating that more warm family he had.
Yeah, I think...
I don't know if it was inspired by something he read or not.
Well, as I think about it, as I recall, he found Sancho abandoned by her original family or something.
She was abandoned in like the ruins of a village or something.
Yeah, or something like that. And
she was like dying alone in a pit.
That's what made him want a family or something. Every single kindred that has ever existed in the past, eons before Don Quixote.
Oh, dearest mother, as your children, when shall we be permitted to quench this thirst for blood?
Man, what a weird thing to happen to the one kindred who really didn't want to embrace anyone and didn't want any fucking children.
Never wanted a single kindred.
Never wanted a single one. I must drink blood. I must drink. I have no mouth, but I must drink.
I have no mouth, but I must drink.
I have to drink all the blood. All the blood that the family deserves to drink. I must. Dante! Dante? Wake up!
I guess a lot like that time at that building when the fire on their head suddenly exploded.
I have to. I gotta get a hold of myself. Thirst. My body can't even feel thirsty. Doesn't make any sense. Yeah! I'm okay. I'm cool. Everything's fine.
What did you see, Dante?
Not good. Put the shoes on, please. I would argue, I feel like it'd be really funny if for this battle, Yi-sung was also unavailable.
Because he just gets fucking obliterated.
He just gets obliterated in the room. We want to bring Don Quixote back. We're gonna need to quench her thirst somehow. We need something to sate the combined thirst, the desire, of every single kindred. That's not good. You have any blood in there? Let's at least try to quench what's...
Yeah, we have some blood samples, if you need them.
Martin's watching, maybe this was a bad idea to egg on.
No. No, that can't be.
Maybe, just maybe, I should not have egged this on. Damn it, have you been listening to what Executive Manager's been saying? It's the combined thirst of every single kindred. A few blood samples aren't gonna do anything. No, Otis, they have not been listening to what I've been saying.
Otis actually was listening, interestingly enough.
To answer your question, Otis, they were not listening to what I was saying. You remember the whole thing where they can't? So you're gonna sit here and do nothing?
It's just a matter of getting your shoes back on.
Right. Isang, shoes! Get those shoes back on her feet. Ah!
I cannot. A bizarre wall of pressure surrounds her. This is one luxury cig. Good flavor.
I love the thought of the two of them fucking off in a corner. Smoking, talking about cigarettes while this entire thing is going down.
I bought those luxury cigarettes with our last bonus pay. These readings are incredible. So much power, even in a state that is, for all intents and purposes, complete emaciation. What? You egged her on knowing this would happen?
I mean, the entire point of egging on was that he didn't know this exact thing would happen. He wanted to know what would happen, and assumed from Faustus it would be pretty bad.
I had many outcomes in mind. Some were quite similar to this, but
yeah, he didn't think it'd be this bad.
How the fuck are you so calm about this? We've got to do something. You haven't even seen how hard the lass hits. You haven't seen how hard she hits.
Dude, she hits so fucking hard. You haven't fought her.
The flashes bounce you across the screen, man. What would be the use of panicking now? If the outcome does not align with the predictions, the first course of action should be to analyze the given data. However,
he looks at like the mirror starting to crack.
It doesn't seem like our containment measures will be the answer here. Thus, the task of stopping her seems to fall straight onto all of you. Time for us to pay the price of curiosity.
Fuck you, Faust. You egged this on.
She said she didn't know, actually. That there wasn't enough data.
Yeah, but she chose her words very specifically.
She very much didn't say don't do this.
She chose her words very specific. Hey, Sancho, what's
highly emaciated. She's immediately using her ultimate move from the last fight. Thank you, Sancho.
Thank you, Sancho. Hey, Sancho, please do me a favor and do what you do every time I use you and fail that coin flip.
Pretty please.
Pretty please, thank you. Nice. Not a one? I mean, I guess you're at 40. I can never. You. Ow. Maybe I should have looked at your passives for why you got all that SP despite losing every single clash, but.
고작 이 정도로 쓰러지는 녀석은 없겠지. 중지를 공격한다는 게 어떤 뜻인지 보여줘야 하지 않겠냐?
My siblings call to me. They crave blood.
Why did you gain back so much SP?
Maybe it's on the actual skill.
That's what I'm. It was topple.
I think it was the lava inturo terminado, or ga, whatever it was. Ha terminado.
Oh, that's start. Consume 45 minus current SP up to. Oh, combat start. Okay. 40. Yeah, minus 0 blood feast. Well, will there been no blood feast to consume?
If there isn't enough blood feast.
Ah. Okay. Rude.
Indeed.
No, that's a lot of favorite though, so. Yeah, just don't lose. Just don't lose.
Just don't lose.
회풍.
You lost.
과연
Nothing I said not to do. Alright, the blood arts.
Thank you, Heathcliff.
Thank you. Still gonna hurt, but thank you. Bye, Faust.
밖에서 맡고 있는 꼴을 보니 그다지 유쾌하진 않군. 관리자, 수감자를 무방비하게 만들지 마십시오.
That's a possible card, right? Yeah. You'll be fine. You'll be fine.
발톱새와! 친히 목을 떨궈주마.
내 뒤로. 차!
I gotta say, well, I think the animations for the new Ryoshu is really cool. This one, I very much dislike the one coin skill that's not an unbreakable coin.
It's not great.
Because usually, if it's a one coin skill, it tends to be either an unbreakable or like a minus skill.
No, I mean, it gets better if your team can actually maintain like a rupture count and she gets some poise going. Because then it'll have a lot more coin power, and it doesn't roll poorly for a skill 1, but it feels really bad if you don't hit the coin. It's not a good early skill to use.
기꺼이.
Also, I just prefer Maorioshu. I don't like trying to work around Drifter Ryoshu.
Bye, Faust.
시죠. 네. 그걸로.
But I think a part of the reason it's not great is because she's using it up to like 3 times a turn. It's just kind of like a jab. Because doesn't she have her own like counter that's just better than her skill 1?
Does she?
Oh, she has a
내
guard.
등
Okay.
뒤에서 벗어나는 것 그다지 옳은 선택은 아닐 테니.
Right, but it is. What does the protector stance do? I forgot.
I mean, that is pretty good.
Yeah, I think you should be using that instead of the skill 1 if you have to clash with it. Is the idea.
That makes sense.
Her skill 3 though, I do enjoy. It is just a very fun animation.
방금의 공격
내 뒤로.
혹신 그 자체였다. 토끼를 본다.
저 해충들을 도려내라.
무게감도
묘야.
없고 뭣도 없는 그
길을 열어.
I really enjoyed that there's a unique animation for every
Each show?
Each show. I really enjoy that.
It is nice.
하나 넘고 둘 넘고 꺾고 제쳐라.
무얼 잘못했는지 아는 것부터가 시작이겠어.
Oh, cool.
승객이 딱콩 한 방 먹였어.
Phase! Woo! I love being denied damage. Ah! That's a big number. Dante, just walk up and go, bad Dante, slap her.
I must. I have to be the mother to all of them. The family's thirst. It's... Dante.
Dante.
No, my lady, you needn't be the mother of anyone here.
Just,
Here.
just head pat. Quiet.
You are a sinner, nothing more.
Head boot.
Hit her with 3 Mong rings. That means Virgilius takes Dawn as a threat very seriously if he immediately popped ego. He didn't like lurk around and not using it for a bit.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it makes sense. Like, we saw how powerful actual Dawn was. Original OC Dawn.
OC.
OC Dawn, yeah. We saw how strong he was, and that was, you know, when he had been crippled and denied for God knows how long, because it's a time loop. Timey-wimey shenanigans. And theoretically, Sancho would be just as strong if she were to, get the blood that she needs.
Actually get the blood, yeah, if she wasn't deprived.
And Virgilius like, no.
No, we're gonna stop that now. Actually,
no, not today, not ever.
Hold on, I need
to drink like a
every
gallon
Virgilius
of water.
line. Every Virgilius line, I need to take a sip of water, like gurgle my throat, and then. Ante, I will not blame the blaze. Blame the blit. I'm gonna freak the fuck out. Actually, words. Oh my god. Gotta take another sip of the water. Dante, I will not place the blame of this incident on anyone. Dante.
Oh.
I understand that no one could have expected this outcome.
I'll be honest. When I was talking about like testing out the shoes being up, I had forgotten about Virgilius. You had Virgilius there to be like, hey Virgilius, is it cool if we just see like how bad it is if her shoes come off so we know?
Given the dearth of intelligence regarding the binding tool the first kindred had gifted to the third sinner. Well then.
Slaps Hohenheim. I didn't have much first-hand experience watching Virgilius fight, but this was certainly the most exhausted I've seen him after a fight. Yeah, I think that a massively weakened Sancho exhausted Virgilius.
Virgilius, yeah.
I decided to say nothing until the clock. After some time passed.
No, hold on, I need a moment.
Okay.
Okay. I thought I could go away with downloading something while watching the Discord stream, and then immediately the
Yeah.
stream began to lag, and I couldn't see the lines. Okay.
Yeah, Discord stream is really bad. And I'm just so you know, I'm paying money so I can have like the good Discord stream.
The Nitro.
I'm paying money so I can have the good guide because I do this a lot and it's bad. Don Quixote, what happened? Did you lose consciousness or did something affect your memory?
Manager Esquire, my memories were fine. But I heard something as soon as I removed my shoes.
Voices, right?
Once again, you have witnessed me. Yes, the voices. So many voices.
The voices?
The voices of my family.
But the blood fiends of La Mancha Land are all Sinclair trailed off.
I love how pathetic your Sinclair voice is. You make him sound like he's gonna fucking cry every single line.
He fucking is!
He is. It's awesome.
Did you hear him? But my
Yeah.
calluses. Yeah, it's fuck. My voice is right for him.
It is. It's great. I love it. Manager.
Dude, it's hard to do that. Every single blood fiend left inside the Mancha Line was killed when the amusement park collapsed. In other words, most of Don Quixote's lower kindreds were dead.
That is correct. But I cannot well explain how. The only way I might explain this is that it was as though my very blood remembered them still.
Did you ever watch Seven Deadly Sins?
No.
Good,
No.
it's bad.
The only thing I've heard about it is that it's bad, and that
It's
there's
bad.
like it has a bunch of stupid anime stuff in the greater lore too.
It's
that is, like,
bad. It has a bunch
weird
of stupid
and distressing.
It's bad. Has a bunch of stupid anime stuff. But
And it had 7 frames per second in the last season or something.
ignoring all of that, because it's just this. My first thought went to how in Seven Deadly Sins, no one fucking dies. It doesn't matter. Like, so we're clear. One of the regular people, and he is the human warrior. He is voice acted by Garen doing Garen's voice. He is just dude with a sword.
Human guy.
He gets melted into a puddle. And he comes back. It's like, I'm good.
Oh, okay.
Other guy gets obliterated by a black hole. Comes back. He's good.
They just do that.
All of the villains, like the villains who my goal is to annihilate all of humanity, get crushed and obliterated by something, and then come back and go, we're on the good guy side now. And when they said, and when it was like, all of the voices are in me, like, we're gonna get back all of the other kindreds, and it's gonna be like, we're good now. And it's like, God damn it, Seven Deadly Sins is such a fucking ass show.
Nothing ever happened.
Nothing ever happens, and it's like, how does the final fight end? Oh, the Legend of Zelda deflecting a spell back and forth until it hits the guy and dies.
Oh, okay.
Ready.
Yeah.
Yeah! What is your unique ability, Meliodas? I can parry a spell, and if I parry it, the power doubles, and I can parry the parry and parry the parry, the parry, the parry.
Glorious.
Glorious. And I do it 4 times, and then it's strong enough to kill God.
Multiplication. Yeah.
I mean, it's like, mathematically, yeah, if you square something enough, eventually, I guess. But, like, that's dumb.
And you can parry the instant murder the universe beam.
Yeah, and then you parry, and then it makes sense mathematically. It's fucking dumb you can do that. And that never came up before now. Where was this when the human cities were being annihilated by the demons, and you were just like chilling? Like, where was this?
He just didn't want to help them then.
Yeah. I didn't want to.
I recognized some of them, and some were voices of those I once deeply cared for. It seems that I was, against my own desire, made to ascend to my father's seat. Perhaps I always was, ever since then. And I was struck not by my own thirst, but the combined thirst of every single one of the children.
Dude, original Dawn had a fucking, like, steel trap of a mind. And, like, yep.
Or, well, because I assume it works with, like, the first kindred. I assume their thirst is also spread and dispersed into their, like, families. So I assume if you have a full family like La Mancha, it's a lot less of a burden.
Maybe.
But, I mean, it'd still be a lot.
Yes.
Indeed, I am also bound by that thirst. It is only natural, because I am a blood fiend. Thus the pressure of it all broke my hold of sanity, and I hurt you all. As Don Quixote, the blood fiend, a higher kindred. Not as Don Quixote, a sinner and your friend.
Okay, this isn't your fault. It's
No.
Yisong's fault.
Such words are meaningless.
Yisong, this isn't your fault. Why'd you bring up the shoes? She looked down at her pair of shoes. Their strings, again, neatly tied.
The higher office will now be regularly supplying you with artificial blood packs.
Hohenheim approached us after spending a while vigorously scribbling something in his notes.
The blood substitute will be very similar to real blood in terms of composition, and we won't have any issues with supply.
Can you... You are Dawn. You've just gone through your entire fucking canto about the blood bars not being enough and everything going wrong. And you guys like, yeah, you guys, here's your supply of fake blood. That's totally fine. Here you go.
It's really good fake blood, not like that dog shit.
It's really good fake blood. We have an infinite supply. You should have just told us you need it. Here. all of that could have been avoided. Yeah, you didn't ask.
I don't suppose you actually believed that mere willpower would be enough to withstand this urge. I have done quite well suppressing it thus far.
That is a lie. The shoes have done quite well suppressing it.
Indeed, and that was precisely the wick attached to the ticking time bomb within the LCB. Must I remind you that the soundness of this limiter of yours is quite tenuous, as today's events have demonstrated? Is it your implication that the purpose of conducting this reckless experiment was to determine the full extent of the latent danger? I don't know. It seems... it seemed like he was in it only to sate his curiosity. Call it merely the auspice of opportune convenience. This risk factor had to be measured sooner or later. Had I known the full extent of the danger she posed, I would have immediately requested a forceful summoning of your department. Of course, as large as this void of unknowns was, we were able to fill it with much new information. Certain analyses can be drawn by comparing the reports regarding blood fiends and this very experiment. Let us discuss the thirst you experienced first, for example, the combined desire of every lower kindred. Indeed, it is true, the Manchegan kindreds have been completely eradicated due to the events at La Mancha Land, but you still heard the voices of your, quote, children, yes? What are you trying to say? I aim to discuss the powerful binding force contained within blood. LCD's cooperative report explains that blood is not merely a carrier of nutrients, but something more, that it contains certain abstract values as well. We sent in a complaint that the report was far too vague in its wording, and received a reply their on-site investigative reasoning team leader spat out, the contents of which were equally fascinating. This desire of their kind, this thirst, is something that may as well be imbued and imprinted onto the familial bloodline. Normally, the weight of that thirst is far too heavy for any individual to bear, which is why they propagate, to bear the unbearable burden together. but considering all of that desire is now focused onto an individual, on account of the extinction of her entire family line, it is easy to see why her hold to sanity was so easily broken, no matter the strength of her will. She alone was made to bear the responsibility, the pressure, the duty of having to raise the family once again. And because none of those needs are currently met, there comes the endlessly exacerbating thirst, and more thirst. It is quite fascinating to see how your kind preserves these very abstract values in the physical form of blood. The mere words thirst does quite the insufficient job of describing the intensity with which you have lost control. This was my oversight, I must admit. I do respect your efforts to be liberated from your nature. I truly do. But I also maintain that it is highly advisable for you to regularly consume the provided blood packs. Understood. But one day I wish to dismount from Roshinante and walk bare of feet and feel the earth under my own skin. I was able to establish one positive fact from this exercise, however. What might that be? That there are those who would, quite literally, throw their lives on the line to stop you, even if you were to take off your shoes. In other words, I don't believe it to be necessary for other departments to exercise any separate control over you. Well, now that I've had a first-hand account of your conditions, I will write the following in the report. Still quite unstable, yet with the effort from the subject herself and efforts from various other environmental factors, this subject has been deemed sufficiently controllable. Once again, I do respect your efforts. Or any kind of effort, really. Because I've never had much use for it myself.
Don Quixote took a deep breath, then turned to face the sinners. By then, her eyes had regained their usual, softer look. But sorrow was seeping through the tone of her voice. Despite her theatrical manner of speech returning, her tone reminded me of our time at La Mancha.
My deepest apologies, dearest friends. Forsooth, I shall ever persevere to see that my Roshinante, my shoes, are never to be removed again.
Lass, you're looking at it all wrong. You're going to remove those shoes one day, yeah? And that's what you're going to persevere towards.
Verily.
I think she let out a brief, quiet laughter.
Manager Esquire. Perchance, is there aught that thou concealest from my knowledge?
What do you mean? I don't think so. It's no coincidence that this very moment I noticed Faust looking my direction. I don't know if I made the right choice here, but Faust nodded lightly, as though to say that I did. I stopped hesitating, and the tick-tocking noise came to a stop.
Very well, then.
However, I cannot help but admit that I felt some degree of anxiety as I watched Don Quixote walk away as though nothing had happened.
Thank you, Hohenheim, for summarizing our past 20 minutes of verbal exploration about what it means to have the whole family.
홍호는 그제야 알게 되겠지. 이 홍로가
Here we go, the hierarchy. Well, now that that's over and done with, I would like the sinners to come gather around here.
Hohenheim placed the sinners in a single file before men began.
Now, the regular checkup is complete. We finally have enough data to compare your pre-employment statuses to those of your current selves.
Dude, I keep hearing reports about, like, how schools are going for kids right now, and it's just like, oh god.
It's not
We're
good.
fucked.
It's not looking good for Gen Alpha.
It's like fucking... none of those students can summarize a movie they just watched 5 minutes ago. Very good, very good.
Functional literacy is dying. Where they can, like, write letters and words, but actually putting them together into, like, several coherent thoughts is nearly impossible.
Very, very nice, very nice. I love this.
They can write words without having any understanding of what they're writing. Just, like, copying symbols.
So concerning. And they're all like, why can't I just use ChatGPT for everything?
If it works.
Which means...
Indeed, we were able to measure your pre-employment combat capabilities as well.
Uh-huh. And what are your conclusions?
Allow me to preface this by saying that there isn't much significance in establishing this particular hierarchy of power on a linear scale. Like I said, you are all equally mediocre at present anyway, and...
I'd like to think that Ryoshu could probably take Kohenheim.
in a fight.
I think Ryoshu could take Kohenheim.
Okay.
There's plenty of significance, alright. We've got to know who's the big boss.
Full Keith
orc.
coming out for that line.
Who's the big knob?
We gotta find out who the big boss is.
While this is but a speculation, for the worst case scenario, we must know which one of us has the most right and authority to lead the rest of the centers in case our executive manager becomes due to some unknown yet inexorable circumstances unavailable. Hey!
I don't listen to anyone weaker than I am.
What if there was a reason I was the first one to ask to introduce himself? There's a burgeoning interest among the sinners to see which one of them would be at the apex of the scale, were they to be measured by their strengths prior to their employment. Hey, maybe before I lost my memories, even I, Dante, don't. Oh.
It is interesting how every They don't.
Oh.
How every collective has the desire to get the clear picture of the pecking order. A negative expression of this desire may even lead to juvenile behaviors among children. For example, stealing their colleagues' lunch for meager reasons such as scoring higher than they did on a test.
You're not speaking from personal experience, are you?
Thus, I believe that trying to conceal the outcome of the tests from you would be quite meaningless. Each of your placements in that line you are standing in signifies the very order you were so curious to know. I do not wish to waste any more breath on this subject.
There was a long silence.
Okay, hold on. Let me grab a... I'll grab a little snip of this for future reference. Hold on. There's the first half. Okay.
Then the sinners all simultaneously turned to look at the person standing in the frontmost position of the line. It's Merceau! Huh? Huh? This has to be the longest, most awkward, most loaded silence I've ever felt in my life.
Much did I wish to hold shrouded in my fathoms, yet I yearned still to convey that we are all more than meets the eye. Yet there remains a certain abundance within my heart. Perhaps the tests of this day paint a picture of both of my qualities. Thus spoke I, Isang.
Isang.
I will place trust in the faith that all of you shall one day sprout wings as I have.
Isang, the front's the weakest. Isang, it's the other way around.
Yeah, so those two pictures is from left to right, top to bottom, weakest to strongest pre-employment sinners.
I mean, again, Don being at the strongest makes complete sense.
Yep.
That makes complete sense. Otis being there is interesting.
Otis was a fucking ass kicker. Otis kicked
being
crazy
there
ass.
is incredibly interesting.
Smoke war veteran.
Like, me saying Merceau was the strongest, that was a joke. Like, Merceau,
Yeah,
I don't
of
think.
course.
It is.
He is actually one of the strongest
He is.
sinners, though. He's
I
number 4.
wasn't expecting him to be one of the strongest. I thought he'd be somewhere. I thought he'd be in the middle. Ryoshu also makes sense with the fucking her entire shtick.
Yeah.
It would have been real funny if she was like the fucking the
13th.
That would have
Dante.
been real funny.
Wouldn't make sense, but it would be.
Now, the only one that's really surprising is Otis being there. Like,
I'm actually kind of surprised Faust is as high as she is. 5th strongest sinner pre-employment. Really?
I mean, with the Faust Discord, I feel like it's not that weird.
That's, I guess, is the Faust chord pre-employment? That's my. I guess it must be.
It must be. Like,
But that also means she was really good at fighting.
Because she would have had to build Mephistopheles before the Sinners happened, right?
Before the LCB, but perhaps not before Limbus Company was. I guess this is before joining the LCB. They're not saying.
Yeah, well, it's before they became Sinners. That's the important.
Yes, yeah. So.
No,
Yeah,
everyone is more. It's Otis. It's like, huh? Second strongest, only beaten by what could pass for a god.
Literally near demigod.
Yeah, like near demigod. Like one of, if not the strongest things in existence right now. Is the only one stronger than I was like, that is surprising.
From here, the sinner wielding that oversized lance is the one at the front of this line.
Oh. Just like, oh. Oh, you said some cool words though. We got this, right, Yisong?
Well, 'tis quite the bashful occasion. To be the center of such fervent attention of one such company.
I wouldn't say fervent's the right word. Worried, maybe?
I shall be vigilant.
No one seemed to have any objections or doubt about who the strongest sinner was, given the earlier event. On second thought, it appears that it would be best if we left the command to command to Ishmael, as we have done so far.
This is actually Otis giving Ishmael a lot of credit. So, credit where credit's due.
I mean, well, I think it's it's purely because she's like, oh god, Dawn being in charge.
I don't want Dawn to be in charge. I don't want
Dawn in charge. I will go back to how it was. Otis mumbled through gritted teeth.
Forsooth, I am in agreement. I am more partial to roles as a defending fixer or a squire. 'Tis oft the case that such side characters enjoyed greater popularity since time immemorial.
Devin's book.
The squire! Very happy to see this discussion not coming to blows. Now, are we all ready to move on from this?
Wait a minute. Are we all forgetting something pretty important? That's just how this world works, Greg. No one remembers anyone between the first place and the last place. I even forgot my own place in the order. She was in, like, dead middle, wasn't she?
She is in dead middle, I think. Hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. She's a little under dead middle. But she's actually the highest of the lower tiers. She's stronger than Heathcliff, Ishmael, Sinclair, and Yisong.
I mean, again, like literally her entire story is how obscenely
average she is, how normal she is, but like physically very powerful. She hits people hard.
No, I mean, Ella's. I wasn't even a part of the list. Oh, were you not?
Who cares, mate? There's 12 of us. Some people just fall out of the radar. Big deal. Let's just get on with it.
Hey, you can't just disregard me as swatting away a fly. I guess somewhere around my level, probably. Or Heathcliff's. Ishmael replied in a voice that clearly lost all interest in this discussion. She's like, oh.
Whatever. Ah, you're the sinner with that bizarre insectoid arm. We had no choice but to place you in the least favorite category of all researchers. Exceptions. Ugh. Ugh.
I really hate that, huh?
In other words, you are a unique case that cannot be well placed in a list or a scale. To do so would be irresponsible.
I like to imagine they're like, fucking, Yisong stand here, fucking Sinclair stand here, Gregor, wherever.
Gregor, you're over here with me. They just don't call him, actually. They just don't call him out for to get in line.
I'd be like, why am I being...
I'd say you carry a certain potential.
That, potential, is it? Does that mean that I could also be first place if all goes well?
It could very well be the reverse, given the definition of potential. Let not this query harrow your mind. Oh my god, I hate Yisong so much. He talks in the most, like...
It's
like almost Yoda speak, man. It's...
Yisong coming up, smile on his face. So you're saying there's a chance.
So you're saying there's a chance you're worse. Let not this query harrow your mind, Gregor. Your day will come.
It was funny, getting consoled by the guy who placed last. I am surprised that Merceau is one of the strongest, though. That is surprising.
He did used to work for N-Corp. We do know that from Kanto 3.
Yeah, but, like, working for the...
You could just be a grunt. That's true.
Yeah, it's like, we've killed a lot of grunts.
This maybe implies he was some kind of position of muscle within N-Corp.
Some time passed.
Next, we must discuss the classification numbers.
Today's not your day, huh?
It's not. No, I'm flubbing line after line. Fuck it, we roll onward. We have been assigned risk levels for distortions, just as we have for abnormalities. The observation logs you have written for us were of great help, of course. My researchers struggled to parse the handwriting of certain sinners, however, but it was good data, all the same. We once had a 3-hour debate over a letter.
Even that bloody governess gave up on trying to fix my handwriting.
That's not a thing to be proud of.
No one could get me to read proper, ever!
Ever! Heathcliff grinned proudly and wiped the side of his nose.
As you must all be well aware, the current system of classification numbers has a rather significant oversight. Because abnormalities were creations of the former L-Corp, our classification system had to be lifted whole from their system. However, the criteria by which the former L-Corp measured the risk levels was the amount of their energy production. As a correlation of sorts, it was often the case that the more aggressive abnormalities produced more energy, but their destructive capabilities were not a part of the criteria despite the correlation. That is why certain abnormalities were assigned relatively lower risk levels despite their potential to kill even multiple higher-ranking employees.
They were an energy company at the end of the day. It makes sense the priority would be to measure the energy output.
However, here, both abnormalities and distortions must be suppressed via direct confrontation. Thus, the former L-Corp's classification system is rather incongruent with our purposes.
I will take anything over Dawn being in charge. I once heard someone say we should be wary of people who drone on in the intro.
Thus, it became necessary for us to reorganize the distortion's risk levels and classification codes. Wow, how interesting. So whose job is that going to be? That's been his first line all night.
Who do you think, Honglu?
I am rather taken aback by the naivete with which you asked me that question.
Us. It's us. Sinners with the right to refuse, was it? Wait a second, aren't you just offloading your own work onto us?
A privilege given to researchers.
Oi, oi, don't be so ignorant, yeah? This is all just to, in order to research the distortions, we gotta...
The other way around, assistant.
We've got to do research into distortions to solve them better. It's elementary shite.
Hohenheim's really got you wrapped around his finger. You know that.
According to the LCD on-site investigative reasoning team leader, the progression of a distortion is much like that of a disease. The fate of an abnormality awaits at the end of the distortion phenomenon, after all. When a distortion progresses into an abnormality, all pre-existing individuality is erased, replaced with the totality of an abnormality. Thus, it is impossible to bring back a distortion that is already transformed into an abnormality. It will no longer have that reversibility that they once had in the distortion phase.
So, distortion like that time ripper fellow will eventually become an abnormality too, if left untouched.
If you're referring to the subject HE6P12001, then yes. This is simply a prediction, of course, because that particular subject isn't contained here. I cannot say with absolute certainty that its progression into an abnormality will be observed.
A correct assessment.
Oh, didn't Limbus Company collect the Time Ripper? We hoped we would, but T-Corp was very adamant about their claim over the entity, to the point where they refused to even sit at the negotiation table. I found their time-ripping ability quite fascinating, but sometimes I must know when to cut my losses, I suppose.
Wait, so that HE something is a new classification code format?
Indeed. Because it is difficult to identify and observe the origin and shape of a distortion, we decided to forego that information and instead replace them with their sin affinities and expected damage scale. Sin affinities. PI must refer to Pagretia, sloth. It appears that the classification now mimics the classification of the Picatula. They do indeed follow the same thought process, if we're being technical here. I wouldn't say it mimics it. It would be more accurate to say that, as the Picatula are at once the origins of the distortion phenomenon and its byproducts, the affinities can be transferred one-to-one. What's the expected damage scale?
Combat capability, I'm guessing. I remember them saying that the risk levels were determined based on the enkephalin production rates, which is not the most meaningful information to us. We have to fight them directly.
It was a tad inconvenient to put a nebulous idea like combat abilities into a singular numerical scale of power. Certain entities have idiosyncrasies and variables that may make such a linear measure quite meaningless. So instead we decided to measure the expected amount of damage that Limbus Company personnel might suffer should they engage these entities in battle. While this Time Ripper poses very little threat against the Sinners due to your idiosyncrasies, the unique nature of their weapons mean they can deal a high and nigh fatal blow to anyone from the LCC department with a single strike. That is why this distortion was given a rather high expected damage scale of 6 from a scale of 1 to 10. Please do note that this is not a perfect system and these values are only there as references. Will this standard be applied to abnormalities as well? We have plans to do so, yes. Risk levels and expected damage scales will be coming before their classification codes. Speaking of which, I have something to show you all.
What is it?
What else other than the monolith? One with the highest potential values among Limbus Company's businesses. Thus, the development of transportation, management, and processing methodologies of the monolith is a glowing achievement indeed. The artifact by its very nature poses a great threat. I hesitate to embrace its use so willingly. A great danger? But wouldn't you say that we are beset by danger at all times?
You ever see the sun? Shit's cancer dangerous.
The arbitrariness in deciding how dangerous something is comes from the degree to which it poses a risk. As you must already know, the monolith here is a device that can force a distortion. It is scattered throughout the city, just like the Golden Bough, at first only in possession of the fingers and the syndicates of the back streets, to now being collected by companies, both large and small, and nameless, like a plague. We also learned that they have become rather high priority targets for some wings out there. As luck would have it, we managed to begin our research, expedition, and collection of the monoliths much earlier than the others. Now, we are already at the stage in which we may partake in the processing and the sales of these artifacts, expanding our business ventures. You could say that we narrowly avoided the very unsavory fate of having to tussle with the wings for the possession of these artifacts. Because we may have had to confront the wings directly were that the case.
Asking out of pure curiosity here, what would happen if we were ever assigned a city threat level? Ishi, how about we don't ask questions we don't ever want to find out the answers to? I mean, what if we, due to some contractual shenanigans, end up going against the associations? I think it'd be good to know ahead of time, just in case. Seems like a question worth entertaining to me.
Let's see. From Canard to Star of the City, I suppose your assignment will be somewhere between Urban Plague and Urban Nightmare. Not SOTC yet, are we? It almost sounds as if you want to be given a threat level. It is true that you, upon first sight, due to your revival powers and the potential of the identity technology, may appear to pose a rather troublesome risk. However, you have a very clear and obvious weakness.
That guy. Clocky over there.
Indeed, all of our advantages will be moot upon the manager's death.
Hohenheim slowly turns around to look at me, prompting Faust and the other sinners to follow suit. But if we protected them, though?
I am impressed by your optimism, given the kinds of enemies you have faced thus far.
They've done a pretty good job so far. I've been in a lot of shitty situations that I've been just fine in, more or less.
We don't even need to go so far back in time to discuss the incidents with the fixer Siegfried or the big brother Ricardo I read from your reports. Should the third sinner suddenly seek to attack the manager with her full might, do you truly believe that the rest of you would be enough to protect them? No. The flow of this world is that the manager will be preserved, that no such thing may come to pass. That's enough, Hohenheim. Any further divulgence and Faust will open a disciplinary committee to discuss the consequences of your careless words.
Interesting. Flow of this world. So,
this is something Virgilius has mentioned before, is that he follows the flow, and that the flow dictates... I'd like to think of it as being like this less strict version of fate, where you're being like carried along by a river with an intended outlet, but like you can fight it, you can go into tributaries, you could leave the river entirely, but there is a flow.
Or if he dies, time reverts back to when they first saw him, when he first put the clock on. And only Faust remembers it because of the Council of Fausts. So she maintains the intelligence, everything, informs Virgilius of whatever shit needs to be stopped, and they go through it again. Which is why Faust, for the vast majority of this, unless usually Dante being the cause of something, is completely unsurprised by everything happening.
That's an interest. I haven't thought of that before. Because I don't know if that is the case, but that'd be something.
I mean, obviously we don't know, but like we won't find out until Faust
for a while.
Until Faust Canto, we won't find out. There might be hints later on, but we won't find out until Faust Canto, if that is even the case. But at least in my headcanon, all of that lines up with everything of how... Because, like, again, Virgilius saying what he says of, you know, I follow the flow of the world, or whatever the fuck, and Hohenheim saying the flow of the world is that the manager will be preserved.
Yeah.
Unless Virgilius is aware slightly, or, you know, to the degree that Faust would be allowed to tell him that it will be okay, I do not think he would be as lax as he is with, you know, when Dante's like, I want to go punch the whale in the face. You know, I don't think Virgilius would be as chill as he is.
That's fair. Yeah, I
unless
think
he has some reassurance that it's
events are definitely shaped or intended such that Dante will survive them.
Yeah,
that's almost definitely why Virgilius was punished for helping in the basement of the Wuthering Heights, because the sinners probably would have made it through that.
Yeah, because
without he was intervention,
punished,
but he was personally insulted by the circumstance.
He was punished for that, but he did the exact same thing with Dawn, and nobody cares.
Well, with Dawn, that's because that wasn't a part of like the Inferno journey, right? They're not at at a location getting a golden bow. This is shenanigans researchers are pulling at the headquarters. And Virgilius is like, no, none of this.
But it's,
shutting it down.
Maybe I'm wrong, but I feel like that falls into the same, because we don't know what Virgilius's contract is. We don't know.
We don't.
But
but there's definitely an implication of non-interference regarding, I think, specifically the acquisition of golden bows.
Yeah. But like again, it's if Virgilius is operating under he goes with the flow of the world or whatever it is. I feel like unless he's aware at least to a degree that Dante is going to be fine, more or less.
Yes.
His utter passivity at everything Dante gets involved in.
Yeah, Virgilius has very much, I think, believes the manager will be okay in most circumstances.
Yeah. Which that makes sense to me if Faust, because of the discord of Fausts, is aware, like she said, Faust has allowed me to know this now, or whatever.
Yeah.
She is aware roughly of what is going to happen in the future because a different version of this Faust has gone through with Dante up until he ate shit somehow.
Sometime. We also know that Faust's knowledge isn't perfect because she wasn't aware that...
because
in the warp train, that she wasn't told that she was going to lose connection with the Gesellschaft once she was on the warp train, and that freaked her the fuck out.
Yeah, but that also adds up if all of these are just different iterations of Dante, because, again, it's the number one way to change the future is tell someone what the future's gonna be.
Yeah, I think this, grander time loop theory is possible. I just don't know if there's a ton to indicate that specifically currently.
Yeah, that's
we don't really know yet.
We don't know, we won't know for years.
A while, yeah. Yeah, it'll be a ways.
That, with what we have seen now, that is my headcanon.
That's fair.
And plus, this reaction to Hohenheim even vaguely gesturing at that
implies that there's some importance, at least at this point, that Dante doesn't understand that they're functionally invulnerable, question mark.
Yeah, because, that feeds into my theory, because imagine being Faust and knowing for a fact that if Dante does something fucking stupid and dies, you have to go through all of this shit again. Don't tell him!
Yeah.
Don't tell him that he doesn't have to be careful! I don't want to do this again! The W train sucked! Okay, anyway.
Oh, not there yet, are we? Very well. Whichever is the case, you do have the potential to become a Star of the City threat at some time in the future. But do remember that it would be best if you could avoid that unfortunate designation.
Not there yet.
And please don't forget that is only true so long as you have Limbus Company's backing.
Oh, interesting. I see. Do I just want to go back to Heisho Pack? Probably. He's like, they're all there. Interesting.
사냥감인가?
Dante.
You're almost done with the regular checkup. Finally, we have a chance for you to overcome an adversity based on what you have learned thus far.
I really, really hope I'm right with my theory, because that'd be fucking funny that I got all of that off of one sentence, because I completely forgot about Virgilius. I'm bringing that up. Of one sentence, I completely forgot the story. That'd be hilarious.
And for me to prove my hypothesis.
What hypothesis are you talking about?
No need to worry, my hypotheses have never been wrong. Most of the time. This experiment is entirely of my own design and supervision, and I will faithfully follow my own pure curiosities and instincts as a researcher.
What happens if I distort? Guys, I have a feeling we're not gonna like where this goes.
Now, do you see this monolith here?
I'm gonna walk up and I'm gonna lick it. Yep, I do. That's a monolith, alright. But
Don't you worry. My researchers will be the ones to activate the artifact.
activate the artifact.
Not on you. Relax. I understand that none of you would be willing participants to this experiment.
I swear, if you're gonna force us to distort saying that we have no right to refuse something, I'm gonna.
Yeah, hang on. I can't let you do that, even as your assistant.
Yes, but if you must, we're willing to send the weakest sinners among us for... forget I said that. That was foolish of me to say.
Forget I said that. I will be the subject of this experiment myself.
I'm gonna go lick the artifact. You're going to distort yourself. Am I hearing you right?
You should distort yourself now.
Aren't you curious to see what kind of distortion you'd end up becoming? I'm sure this is a question you have all entertained at least once.
But isn't, like, the type of distortion you would become, isn't that, like, perpetually changing? Because, like, it's based on you crashing out. I mean, you're granted the artifact's slightly different, but, like, it'd be
Distortions
changing.
are never 0 to 100. This is something that's explored in, like, Distortion Detective specifically, that a distortion is something that kind of incubates within a person for a while, and it can be brought out by, like, severe stimuli or
But, like, I'm saying that,
a crash out.
Wouldn't it be, like, just eternally, like, evolving or changing?
It would probably shift over time, yeah.
No, I ain't curious. It ain't a very pleasant experience either.
I saw what happened. I don't want to do it again. My girlfriend got deleted. What?
Who?
Who?
Stop gritting your teeth like that, assistant. It will have an adverse effect on your long-term dental health.
Hey, hold on. Instead of doing all this, how about we talk about how I deleted someone from all realities? Isn't that
Nah.
cooler?
It was kind of like she deleted herself.
From all realities, using
You were just the tool used to have her assisted suicide across the multiverse.
using my funny dual disc. What if you just end up turning into Pikachu? You could have become a Pikachu, just another one of those fodder we started our way through the test earlier. You're risking that?
It is indeed a possibility. It would signify nothing more than my very own limitations. Just a mediocre shell. If such an incident comes to pass, these employees will transport me to a containment unit. We even made a bet on what kind of Pikachu I would turn into. He bet on Goulet, I on Invidier, and her on Pigrissier.
But how could you?
Think about it like this. If I were to become a Picatula, it would be akin to losing at a game of chance. Of course, what counts as a loss may depend on what I, at that precise time, consider to be losing, but the mere fact of turning into a Picatulum reaves me of any value to life.
I'd say he was being too hard on himself, but that felt like too simple of an expression to describe his tone.
The company would most likely attempt to transport me to a containment unit, but I disagree with that decision. I would like to ask you to dispose of me on the spot. I'm well aware that I'm not the kind of congenial person who earns others' favor at first meeting, if at all. I also don't believe that our brief relationship has been the most amicable kind. Therefore, I see little reason why you would hesitate to cut me down. Of course, sinners with gentle hearts like young Sinclair here may express certain distaste against this decision.
The way he phrases that's weird. Hearts like this young Sinclair.
But once I became a Picatulum, it may as well mean that Hohenheim, the entity, has ceased to be. So I hope no unnecessary emotions like guilt clouds your judgment in killing the Picatulum, a mere byproduct.
But what if something unexpected happens? We're talking about your life here. Don't you have any manuals with backup plans, or...
This is a very simple matter. Nothing more than a coin flip. Heads or tails. It appears you are still insisting on your absurd 50-50 theory. I am a researcher who wishes to humiliate the field of mathematical statistics, unlike the general lay of the academia. I believe there is a certain romanticism to research. It is much more exciting to run as many tests and gain as many samples as we can than to be stuck behind a desk poring day and night over books and paper, isn't it? If it's tails, then you may dispose of me immediately, and the employees here will take care of the rest. Don't forget to destroy the key inside the coat pocket and the files inside my cabinets, for example. Yes, we remember. If I were to successfully distort, it would be halfway to success. For the first time, I am feeling quite the envy for you all. I wish I could be a witness to my very own distortion.
Just have a camera, then you'll find out. If you distort, you'll find out. Huh.
If you've been paying attention to my lectures, perhaps you could even come up with a classification code for my distortion too, going by the standards we have discussed earlier. Not that I have a very high expectation that you would. I've recently come to a realization that people nodding along to my words is not a signifier of comprehension, but instead an expression of social niceties.
That's a recent thing for you? Okay. No, he just says nods.
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 Then the manager here will open the entrance to my dungeon of the Fathoms.
Because whenever it's always like the other font. It's never been like they.
That's true. You're right.
He
just says nods. He just says nods.
He just says nods.
Nods.
Respect.
And you will progress through the mirror dungeon, as you have always done, when facing a distortion, to reach into its deepest fathoms and face my distortion once again. I wish you the best of luck in your suppression efforts. Hexasection. And once you've made it that far, it is unlikely you will find me unconscious, or, if luck would have it, conscious. It is likely you'll find me.
Unconscious? Are you sure this is safe, brother man?
A degree of case-by-case variance is to be expected. It may take some time for a full recovery, but it will happen should you succeed. That reminds me, how's this, that's how this bamboo-hatted Kim was brought back as well.
Bamboo-hatted Kim? He's recovered.
He is safely contained within our facilities. It seems that they are ready to activate the monolith. I'm confident that I, even as a distortion, will be quite the exceptional specimen.
Hang on, just like that!
You're not a Pikachu. Indeed. And I can still hear them.
You got the fucking
Yes.
3D glasses. Look.
I remember. I still do. I know he'll be back, but... Gah, this is pretty unnerving.
Don't worry, we'll bring him back, no matter what.
The manager says that we will bring him back no matter what. Sure sounds like a dependable sort, this manager of yours. Very well. Please, take a look at this.
Is this a note? Did he write us tips on how to do this or something? It just says, I win, Faust. Ha!
He says that all you have to do is read what's on that note in front of his distortion. Apparently it's some kind of a code.
I don't think hear anything but tick noises from me. Can you read this, Mersol? Mersol? I mean, I guess, sure, but... It will be done as you commanded. Mersol nodded and began to read the words from the note aloud. Lobotomy Corporation, 5 minutes, potentiality, anticipation, right hand. The moment Mersol uttered them, the all too familiar portal began to appear around Hohenheim's distortion, as though they were a key to a door. Scattering shards of familiar yet alien sights appeared intermittently beyond the shimmering veil. Hohenheim had already entered the portal as we stood there gawking, but we could still hear his voice echoing through the laboratory.
Suppose I'll be forced to share my past here. The past I never wanted to share. The past no one cares to learn about.
It's just him being bullied in school.
It is something I must endure for the sake of this experiment.
No, it's the fucking...
However...
It's the Meet the Robinsons. Hey, dude! You wanna hang... Hey, hold up! You wanna hang out? They hated me.
They hated me.
You wanna hang out after school today, man? That looks really cool. I was despised by them.
I had no friends.
I had no friends. And you
I didn't expose every little detail of
Right,
it.
I forgot the distortions that they also done.
It's all in the past now anyway, isn't it?
Ooh, fancy hallway.
If you leave at 8, that might be a good
Okay.
place to stop there, because there's going to be quite a few little story modes on our way.
That's quite a bit. All right. Okay, so
It's a decent-sized dungeon.
with all of that done, I want to thank you all for coming, and hopefully we see you next time.